Hi everyone, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel Merchant Navy Decoded. Today I've got a very big inspiration, I would say, Dr. Sanjeev with me. A man from Gujarat who came over here when he was very young to Chennai with a vision, became a chief engineer, then started his HIMT dream with just 2 rooms in 1998, and today it's history. So we need inspiration leaders out here in Merchant Navy, and that is why this podcast is being done. Having said this, sir, please, thank you very much, sir, for joining for this podcast. Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thanks for having me here.
Sir, I want to share this one thing with you. So 15 years back, I came to Chennai. I had given my MEO class I had to give my MEO class for exam. Suddenly, there was a requirement of refresher courses to be done.
Yeah.
So like the hungry person that I am, I realized कि जितनी जल्दी exam दूंगा, the faster I'll get promoted. I'll go on ship and I'll start earning. So I realized that I have to do these refresher courses ASAP. So nowhere I could get those courses in Kolkata, nowhere I could get in northern India, and suddenly one of my batchmates told चेन्नई में मिल रहे हैं.
Sure.
तो 30 of our batchmates together, हम लोग जनरल के डब्बे में बैठ के we came to चेन्नई. कोई लॉज में रह रहा था. Somebody was staying in Mariners Club and we did our course at HIMT Chennai. At that time, sir, I had a life which was full of easy going, कोई टेंशन ही सब हो जाएगा. And I came to HIMT Chennai. यहाँ पर मैं रिफ्रेशर कोर्सेज किया और एक दिन सर I bunked also. Sorry to say this, but I have made these mistakes. And sir, अब सर्टिफिकेट इंपॉर्टेंट है और सर यहाँ पर सर्टिफिकेट मिला ही नहीं सर नेक्स्ट डे. द स्ट्रिक्टनेस वॉज सच कि जो इंचार्ज थे उन्होंने सर आंखों से आंसू निकलवा दिए. एंड दैट वॉज वन एक्सपीरियंस दैट आई टुक. बट दैट टाइम आई रियलाइज कि स्ट्रिक्टनेस बहुत है यहाँ पे. सो फॉर ईयर्स लेटर जब भी किसी ने मुझसे बोला कि पोस्ट की कोर्सेज कहीं करने हैं, सो देवर ऑलवेज 2 names इन माई माइंड. नॉर्थ इंडिया में तो एआरआई दिल्ली, साउथ इंडिया में हो तो HIMT चेन्नई. सो दिस इज अ ट्रस्ट दैट यू हैव गेन्ड फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री, आई वुड से.
Thank you. Sorry for being. I know there are many people who would be cursing like you, but then, I have even few who have sailed with me also. They say I don't want to come to HIMT because they're too strict.
They're too strict.
But in the long run, I would say that the image what we have created or the confidence what as a chief engineer, second engineer, or a mate on board, you find a HIMT certificate, probably you'll have peaceful sleep on board.
You will
that surely I think the person who has gone through HIMT would have 100% attended the whole course.
So ये trust, this is the trust that you have built in the maritime industry. Having said that day your son was talking to me 2 days back. He told कि we lose a lot of students because they know it is very strict out here. And they say, oh, it is very strict, we will go to some other place which is very casual. So that time I was talking in my mind, and then I later on talked to you as well. Yes, we can see the numbers were not coming, but there are frankly much bigger numbers today. Companies trusting and they saying, you will go and do it at HIMT Chennai. Why? Because they know that it is strictness and whatever they are teaching, it's good quality. If I'm not mistaken, am I right, sir?
You're 100% right. In fact, the top most people, MDs, who basically are MDs of some shipping companies, I'm not naming each of them, but then many of them have the trust. They have done, most of them have done the courses here, and then today they have been sponsoring and they've been telling that, okay, HIMT would be the exclusive institute, few say preferred institute to the officers that you go to HIMT and do the course. So I think that's what we have built up. In fact, exponentially we have built up because of that. Though we lose percentage of it, 10-20% of them might be going off, but then overall I think if we would not have reached the figure of about 4.5 lakhs of certificates being issued, number of candidates who have repeatedly come, not one time, 2 times, more than 20-25 times, right from a cadetship till it becomes masters, revalidation course, repeatedly they keep coming across. So I think that's by God's grace, I think we have been fortunate to keep that ethical values.
Great, sir. I really appreciate that. Having said that when I got a message saying that I'm being invited to HIMT college for a motivational talk over here, my only intent was, okay, I am going to come, fine, but what will I get in return? So that was the time I told you, sir, मुझे आपके साथ podcast करना है. And the simple reason was, sir, when I met you, when I came to the campus, I saw the infrastructure, then I talked to your sons, then I came to the college right now, I saw your mother's photograph. I had tears in my eyes literally because I could imagine someday, what if I manifested that time? भगवान जानता है कि क्या पता है एक दिन मैं भी अपनी मम्मी की फ़ोटो इसी तरह लगा के कुछ बड़े लेवल पे शायद कर रहा हूँ. So dreams do become a reality, but only you need inspiration leaders in front of you. Having said that, sir, this is why this podcast is being done, guys. So now let's start the man's journey, man, and let's get into the why he has become the man he is, what were the reasons that he has become successful, and the journey back behind. So sir, my first question is to you is that, sir, थोड़ा सा brief में introduce yourself, sir, with your family background, कि आप कहाँ से आए, क्या क्या हुआ, and little bit about your sailing journey as well.
Okay. Okay, where to start? Okay, I'm like a Gujarati, born in Gujarat, brought up in Chennai. So I'd say that just though I'm a Gujarati, but then I would say I'm more a Tamilian today because all my education, school, college, everything I've done across in Chennai only. So I was almost the first batch of a college called, second batch of SVC, which is today doing a lot of maritime courses. At that given time, there was no marine there. So I did a mechanical engineering there. And during that journey of mechanical engineering, as you know, students, every student aspires to go to US. They do, after the B, they go to do their MS in US. So as a lot was sending across applications, I also started submitting my applications when I was in third year to US. And fortunately, okay, there were a few colleges which gave admissions without aid, and few did invite with aid, but there were two colleges, one was Iowa and one was Illinois State University where I got across. And simultaneously at the same time, you not know whether you'll go to US or not. That will be a question mark till you really reach there. So parallelly I was also applying for jobs and first interview basically, which was from a company called Damodar Bulk Carriers, a shipping company. At that given time, Sargagars from Vasco. In fact, they were running these ships, and I didn't know anything of shipping. Neither anybody from my family have been in shipping. So sea has been seen. Being Chennai, we used to go to the beach and see the ships far. But then never we had dreamt, or I had dreamt that I'll be at sea. That given date. And that given date, yes, I was interviewed. The company came. They interviewed about, from India, they took about 6 candidates, 2 from north, 2 from east, 2 from south, and probably I was one of them. So I had to decide whether now I go to US or I go to this company, join the company and go to sea. So I was not knowing anything on shipping, but only thing I then did a research and then happened to go through one of the ships. I visited a ship and then asked the chief engineer, second engineer there, few of them there that what is it about and how do you progress and all. And one thing which made me decide not to go to US and to join sea was, okay, at least you will be with family. Means when you go 6 months you're there and then again back you're going to spend some time with family, which is not going to be the case in US. Okay, US generally, as they say, it's the person who goes there, then they majority of them don't come back. They try to wahin ke ho gaye. So I was a family man. Basically, I thought that no, I would like to stay with the family. So that's a whole idea. Okay, family will be there also, but then the bonding with the country itself is something which I wanted to do, and I decided that let me try this. Being the first job, I thought let me not refuse. Sentimentally, I thought this has been the first opening which I've got across, and I told an yes.
And that is how your journey started with, as a marine engineer. So which year did you start your sailing, sir? So
1990, as I told, I completed my engineering, and the same year, after July, I completed, and the month of October, Damodar Bulk Carriers sponsored me to Garden Shipbuilders for 1 year of GME training.
Which is in Kolkata?
Which is in Kolkata.
Very near to MERI Kolkata,
I've
been there, sir.
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah. You also from there, I believe?
I'm from MERI Kolkata, sir. But we used to go to Garden Reach for our shipbuilding training and all, right, for 6 months.
Yeah. So happened to be there, and then okay, the company gave me a stipend of 1,400 rupees. It was given across, and so I had to decide on okay, go and stay in the closest place to that, which was Marine Club. So stayed there, and then did 1 year of training, and October to October it got over, and almost 11th November, I know, was the first ship, I think.
1991.
1991.
You were on the ship.
I got in the ship.
So 1991 was your first ship, and you became a chief engineer which year, sir?
I became a chief engineer in 1996.
सर क्या दिन थे सर वो, मतलब 5 साल 6 साल के अंदर आप चीफ बन रहे हैं, बट वो हाउ वाज इट, मतलब
Yeah.
so fast?
So it was just, as I did a fifth engineer, when I joined the first vessel, I did 11 months completely. Though the requirement was 6 months, but then I did 11 months. November I went and I came back almost, after 11 months I came back. So immediately, the day I came back, that time class 4 was just an orals. So 2 days after that, just 2 days after I signed off, I went for a class 4 exams.
Okay.
So I didn't went to the MMD, and there is not much waiting period as it is today. So I did my class 4, 1 hour of orals. I remember Mr. Nair was there, a thorough gentleman. Okay, asked one by one questions, and I think 1 hour later I was declared pass. So
जय माता दी,
जय माता दी. Okay.
फोर्थ इंजीनियर, फिर उसके
Fourth
बाद
engineer, बस fourth engineer हो गया. तो immediately 1 month later I joined up. I joined up the vessel again. At that given time, okay, Damodar bulk carriers, since they were losing ships, and one ship at Calcutta, Damodar Ganga, also caught up fire. So the waiting period was there, and the company told, if you're getting something, please take across. My role model, the person who interviewed me, Mr. Mitter, I still remember him. He changed the life, and I'm still in touch with him. So I told, better Sanjeev, you please, if you, because we have only one ship now, or 2 ships rather. So if you want, you can take up your career. And I think so. That time SR Cisco had just merged in Chennai, and that was a company. I just went and they told, can you join tomorrow? And again, so I didn't have to think back, and joined immediately.
so everything was happening simultaneously,
Back to back.
So no waiting period, no stress, immediately joining, clearing exams, and that is within 5.5 6 years you were a chief engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Gone are the days, guys. Sorry, I can't help you with that right now. Okay, sir, my next question to you is, in the last 2 days that I've been meeting you, I went to college, training center, everywhere. I can see a lot of things where I've seen your mother's photo around. Even at the entrance, I could see that whole big statue of your mother. And even the ship has been named after her, which is in the background out there. So your mother has had a quite big influence on your life.
Yeah.
So when I was asking yesterday who was your role model, you said your mother. Why?
Okay, for any human being, I think majority of them, if you ask, mother would be the answer which they would say. But in my case, it has been why, if you say, okay, she, because of the sacrifices, okay, she also was, I would say, not only a homemaker, she was a businesswoman, and also taking care of home, because otherwise generally mothers are there either working or taking, but I think she did both the duties. She was there, in fact, she was a role model. She didn't only teach what a child has to learn, but also going to the office. I used to even accompany her when she used to go across, and the way she used to, I think, treat people across, the way, the bonding, what is in family, also what she used to do it with all the staff there. And especially she has been motivating me from beginning as to take up a journey, do hard work. That's all I'm going to how, because I think she expanded I think her business from 2 offices when we started to 14 branches. In fact, she did it across. And we know as for a woman to move across and do that, how much difficult it is. So she has been a role model because she's not only taught the basic ethics, integrity, God-loving. People say God-caring, I would say it's God-loving, how to be more God-loving. Along with that, the values at home and probably in the profession.
She, what was your age when she left?
I was 17 and a half.
Okay, so let's not get into quite the emotional dynamics of your life. Let's come back to the business thing. So you come from a Gujarati family. You told that your family came from Gujarat over here just to do business. So you have seen the highs and the lows of the business even before you got into business yourself. So can you just tell us a bit about the highs that you saw in the business, in your family business, and the lows?
Yeah, family business, okay, as I started, I remember, and when we came, okay, I was, as I told, when I was just 1 year old, I came to Gujarat, from Gujarat to Chennai, and we have seen where one shop was the beginning, and wherein my dad used to go by cycle, and my mother and father, I think she used to go by walk. It was close to the house. From one thing, we expanded gradually into almost 14 branches. Not only in Chennai, there are 3-4 branches. My brother also, I think, he was not into, he didn't want too much of, he didn't want to get into colleges and everything. He wanted to again expand business. He got in that. After 10th itself, he got into business. He also started staying alone, went to a place called Velur. He was there taking care of one of the branches. So we have seen that growth, expansion from, I would say, in 20, not 20, I would say, okay, since I was, about 14 years, I could see it grew to about 14 branches. But then also the down, okay, it's very difficult to grow up, but it takes one mistake or it takes fraction of a second that a person falls down.
So what happened?
Yeah, so I think we did lose. I think it was 83, I would say 1983, 2 years before my mother passed away also. It was the time when, belief, as you expand to a level where you would start trusting people across. You don't have time to move across and see what's happening on day-to-day basis. And that was one thing, dad, mom, brother, 3 of them were able to, they were there, in fact, we did have one of my cousin also who was brought from Gujarat, he also wanted to work. So 3-4 people only were there. But then when you're having 14 branches, every place you cannot go on day-to-day basis. And yes, somebody you trusted, the staff, and then that staff, I think probably, I would say deceived, basically cheated and parallelly opening up something else, hiring the customers. So that happens in any business. But we were not, until unless you fall down, you do not know how much you're getting hurt. So that was one thing. And then a lot of business started falling down. And then we had reached a stage where almost, I think everything one by one, within 1.5 years, 2 years, I think every branch had to close down. And we were left with back to one or something. That's it.
Your mother passed away during that phase. Was it this thing that she...
I think financially a person falls, yes, that goes behind the mind every day as to when you have people who are going to come and ask for the loan and ask for that. So I think it is certainly a time when, yes, psychologically a person does go down.
Do you think today that if your mother would have been alive, she would have come back again? She would have made the business come back to the feet?
She was the business magnet, I would say. So I'm sure that for making, there are many to make, but breaking only one person is sufficient. Right.
So if I would ask you, what were the business lessons that you learned from the family business which rose and then fall off as well? What were the business lessons that you learned?
Learning has been too many, right from how to speak to people, how to have the work ethics, how much to work. You need to work hard to grow, because when you grow, everybody says, oh, wow, everybody will say, but then nobody knows as to how much of pain or how much of efforts have gone into it. And when you do a small mistake, then also people will say that, this small mistake, how could you do it?
हमने तो कहा था ये तो नहीं चलेगा. ये भी एक और चीज़ है.
That's something. So the learning has been that trust people, but then trust to a level which you can. Everybody is not a saint, and at the same time spread your wings till the level, or your hands till the level where you can reach. The same thing when today my wife also says that don't spread across, today people have grown to branches, do not grow to a level where you compromise in a quality, compromise on what ethical values you have. So these are at least the major 2 lessons I would say.
Thank you. Okay, so once bitten, twice shy. Normally when you come from a business family which has seen the downfall, you become like really conscious, business to nahi ho payega, something like that. So how come you had the courage to, when you were eligible enough to start your own business, or when you were not even thinking, suddenly you started your own business? Weren't you afraid at that time? From where did you get that courage or that decision making कि नहीं यार करेंगे?
Okay. It's like share to hamesha share hi hota hai. Is that way? What happened is, okay, from 91 to 98 as I was selling, I didn't have any plans of coming and setting up any business. Okay, that had already gone. But then 98, okay, it so happened that I happened to, DG Shipping came out with a new circular when ST 95 was coming into, and then a new course called PSSR was to start. And there hardly, till then there were 7-8 institutes in India. And I was just going to join a vessel. A company called me at Mumbai for briefing. And when I reached there, the company told that, okay, there's something new which you need to do, this particular course. And I had not heard of that course. We all were new, and then had to search where it is, and found one institute at Mumbai who was doing this course. Happened to do the course in a small room. That time there were no guidelines. So you can, chai ki dukan maybe you could make an institute. There was a case, and because there was no square feet area, etc. So I happened to do in that one of the institutes, not run by a professional, but then had a course done, watched 3 days of videos and hardly half an hour or 1 hour of lecture. And that pushed me to DD Shipping to probably ask whether are the seafarers being harassed to watch videos which we watch on board. And when I happened to knock the door of DD Shipping at that given time,
मतलब आप गुस्से में DD Shipping चले गए?
Yeah, because it was almost, see, to watch videos, why seafarers should suffer? That, in fact, we have safety videos, we have everything on board. But I didn't know what STW, nothing was known at that given time in depth. So happened to go to DD Shipping and see that what it is actually. Okay, then DD Shipping just showed the syllabus, everything, and then I was in fact rather invited. Okay, you had an additional director general of shipping at that given time whom I met, and I think he's retired now. And he told that, okay, in South if there's nothing, and then he happened to be somewhere from Kerala. So he's saying, South there's nothing, why not you also start something? So that was one spark.
Eureka moment.
Bas. So I just went for a different idea, but then they told, why don't you start? So I was zapped. I didn't know whether, what should I do? I told, okay, give me the copy of guidelines and then I'll go through. I came to Chennai. There was July, I know.
July 98.
July 98. Just almost, as I told, I've grown because I've hardly been at home. Okay, that journey of 91 to 98 was almost more at sea, and hardly the whole tenure of sea I would have stayed for maximum 1 year, I would say, at home, including, one thing was good that, I had put a condition after my class 4 that I'll get married only if I clear my class 2. So I got engaged, in fact, at that given time. That time, when I was class 4, so I got engaged, and I told that this was a condition, and then luckily I passed, and then I got married, and then from that time, class 2, I think my wife also has been sailing with me. I think she has 5 years of sea experience now, in the tenure of what we were. So finally, to answer your question,
You came back home?
Came back home because she was the one whom I had to ask exactly, because she was also sailing with me, so I could ask her, what do we do on this? This is some proposal from DG Shipping itself, this is something coming up. And she immediately told, yes, why not? Why not?
She was completely ready. Yes, why not?
She was ready.
Okay.
She was ready. That she told that let's try it across, and let's do it across. But you required investments. But then for that given time, she told, no problem. I'll break my FD, whatever it's there. But then make an attempt. If there is nothing, if there's an opportunity, let's try. And we were determined. At that given time. My second son, Teeth, who is there, he was almost, she was carrying her. So I thought that let us make an attempt. And if nothing happens, the ticket is there, go back to sea. Because
so always, for seafarers, this is the best thing.
Yeah.
I have my ticket valid with US visa right now.
Great. So anytime you should walk and see. And we determined that, let's do. Though there are many stories that, seafarers are not good in business or cannot survive ashore. that has been the general story, because I've also seen in the career, I'd see many of them opened up something or other, and then they had to lost and they had come back to sea. But we may attempt, okay, at least we will try and do it across, and based on that we both decided, the whole world, I was telling my father, everybody at home, family, they said this is a good thing. At that given time as a chief engineer I was earning about 1 lakh and 9,000, 1 lakh 9,000 was my salary, and I think they're saying you're crazy if you're going to start something, what you are going to get you do not know, and you're going to lose an opportunity of this 1 lakh and 9,000 job. So all across one side, and my wife alone was saying that, okay, let's start, and then I'm there to support, and we decided.
So किसी ने बोला नहीं पागल हो गए हो, इतनी अच्छी सैलरी छोड़ के you are thinking of doing this, you will lose this also, safety net.
So I was told, but then I think, as I told you earlier, that okay, I've already fallen once, we have seen the fall, and then okay, got into shipping, and 1 lakh also I would say was a good salary, I would say, at that given time. We were contented, and we thought that okay, let's do this, and started locating a place. In 15 days, I think, gave an ad in a paper, and found a building with just 2 classrooms, and
Your first batch was with how many students, sir?
There were 9 students totally.
So 9 students, with 9 students you started the first batch, and today it's been around 25 years, more than 25 years.
Yeah.
Like how many branches does HIMT Center have today for post-sea courses?
We have totally, in terms of branches, we have 4.
4 branches.
With the facilities of other things, it's 6.
6 branches, post-sea training centers. How many courses are run over there, sir, approximately?
Sir, okay, so see, all the HIMT entities are different, because again, as per each building is one entity. You cannot have extended campus, etc. So all are different entities. So we are right now into 3 different entities, running different courses, and number of courses today, approved courses are tuned to about, from DG Shipping itself, it's more than 40. And of course, we do also have a different entity of HIMT, which is also doing an MCA courses, and there are about 13 courses from UK MCA. So that's a different entity. It's not, it's okay. It's an entity called HIMT Offshore, which is not pertinent to DG Shipping courses.
But today HIMT has grown. You have got your own pre-sea training center. Now, do you meet those naysayers, those who, and I know you will not ask them, अच्छा आप तो ऐसा बोलते थे ऐसा हो गया, but can you see that thing in their eyes कि अरे कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए वकील जी?
That's I think
he had got the guts, and देखो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए, और सबको ये भी कहते हैं नसीब था ये सर. अच्छा कभी सुनने को मिला आपको? Have you heard this?
Yeah.
किस्मत थी, decision making नहीं, कभी ऐसा सुना आपने?
That many times from many of them. I think my seniors, colleagues, family people, everybody, I think I keep hearing this, that okay, it was a right decision, and they all now more than me, they say, my wife, that okay, I think you were instrumental in doing so credit is going to her. Certainly.
Okay, having said that, sir, today many seafarers, like a captain or a chief engineer, those who want to do a lot of stuffs, they keep thinking about it, but they don't do it, because that fear factor of losing out on salary is huge.
True.
Say, like my father, when I started GMD Academy, he is still dead against. He still does not believe that I can do something, or I will be able to do something successful. He believes merchant navy is the best thing that I can have, and he keeps reminding me of all the losses that I have gathered. And he says, 5 साल शिप पे नहीं गया, 5 करोड़ का नुकसान हो चुका है. Then he is reminding me this way. So now coming back to you, what do you think those people, those seafarers, those who really want to do something, they've got some very good, amazing ideas, but this fear is not letting them do anything. What do you want to tell them?
I would say fear, जो डर गया वो मर गया. That's always there, the saying. So I think that's a saying, and I would say that at least from the seafarers' point of view, I would say that they have been sailing at high seas, they have been seeing lots of bad weather, they do not know whether the ship, when they are going, are they, okay, how they will come back. Everybody says, okay, when you go, you come, 100% back without even a cut or anything. But then they are going with that adventure, that risk which they are taking across. Today, pollution and lots of other things are there. But then still, I think when they can face those challenges, I think the challenges ashore are not that many. So I would just advise everybody that dream big and probably make an attempt. There is nothing to lose for sure. You have your ticket, keep your ticket alive. Even today, at this juncture also, I kept my ticket live. My COC is valid till 2025.
Oh God, amazing.
And unfortunately, I'm not doing any courses at HIMT.
You're not doing any courses at HIMT.
So that's one thing. I said the whole world, as I told, people come for 25, 30 courses, they keep coming. But I am one exceptional who rather don't do courses only which are not available elsewhere. But even I think during COVID, I had chosen 6 different institutes to get because that time I took advantage of getting my revaluation done. I used ARI, went to TS Rahman. So all these 6 institutes and got my COC revalidated till 2025. So now next cycle will come in. By then I'll again decide and choose up some institutes.
To all the seafarers, those who are ready to take risk right now, the other part of the video is more important, how to mitigate those risks. And that is where the other questions come in, sir. So now that you have decided to take the risk, okay, video देखा अब तो मैं करूँगा, आगे जानिए कि जर्नी कितनी खतरनाक रही है. So your wife has been your biggest support. So what has, one thing was that she was instrumental कि करते हैं. अगर had she said नहीं हो पाएगा तो you wouldn't have thought of doing it.
Agreed.
So she was pioneer in taking and helping you. But apart from that decision making, where else was she there that today HIMT has become such a humongous success?
So I think right from she took up a role right from the day one, right from the inspection time to starting the institute to do the interiors at that given time, and then the finance. Okay, the ladies are generally good in finance, and she took across that part of major decision, because I think they know even if they go to market, they know how to bargain better and get the vegetables or any provisions. Okay, at that given time, today, okay, you have malls, people go and pick up everything, printed rates, but that was not the journey earlier. Our generations, okay, you need to go and negotiate, you need to do that and get across. So she's been, I think the greatest support for me is finance, and I think any organizations to grow, finance is the backbone of anything.
So she's your chief financial officer, if I would say.
She is.
If you are the CEO, she is the CFO.
See, I have a backup. Two of my sons could take it up across, or my principals can take over. Majority of my role, I think, is not difficult. Anybody could take. But finance, even I have not gone into still. But then she keeps, she never asked me why you want to get this, whether the decision is right or wrong. There have been wrong decisions which I have taken. I had bought something a few years back, a Conspoke Center, which was 3.5 crores. That was my ambition for 7-8 years, though I didn't do survey of market, etc. And then picked it up. But then I would say it hardly ran. Till now, in 3.5 years, 4 years, we have hardly done about 35 to 40 students. That investment of the interest of what the 3.5-4 crores would have been. But then I think she didn't stop me. She also always believed that, okay, whatever you do, okay, you'll do with your heart. And then even if it was right or wrong, I think she supported.
So, but you have made so many hundreds of right decisions as well. So with hundreds of right decisions, 2 or 3 wrong decisions will always and should come. So nobody is perfect. Elon Musk, people like Modi, everybody makes wrong decisions. Without wrong decisions, right decisions can never come, because it's process oriented. Having said that, sir, now this is really important thing. What is your daily routine like? And first of all, you have to tell your age.
Okay.
And for the last 25 years, what has been your general daily routine like?
Okay. So routine is, okay, seafarers have a fantastic routine, right from watch keeping to going to bed. So we seafarers are built that way. So as I came ashore also, it was the same thing. 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I wake up, and then after the routines, do puja, and then start off. Okay, start off means.
At what time? At what time do you get up normally? That is really important.
4:45. 4:45 is the time I get up every day.
I should like die with embarrassment right now. Okay, 4:45 you get up. Then after that, sir?
My normal routines, half an hour, 45 minutes, then 10 minutes of puja, and then dress up and then to the office.
And by what time do you reach office?
I start at 6. Okay, my one center which is at Kilpock today, which is closer to my home, which I reach in 10 minutes. 6:10 I'm there.
6:10.
6:10 in the morning I'm there.
Okay. Aage please.
Okay. Then okay. Earlier when it was 1, that time okay, I had to be only there because our courses also start early. Because earlier when we started, there were something called shift systems, etc. were allowed by DG shipping. So morning 7 o'clock, one batch starts, gets over at 1:30. Next batch starts at 2, gets over at 8:30 in the night. So I used to spend from those days, from 1998 till I think 2015, 16, I think that was routine. So both the batches, I used to be the first to be there, and I used to be the last after all the faculty and staff leave.
So 14, 15, 17 years of your life, Monday to Saturday, at least 14 hours every day.
You miss Sunday in between.
Sunday, sir, Sundays are holidays. Ask my wife if she's watching. Every Sunday, Pranit, आज तो holiday होगा. Sir, मेरा कोई holiday नहीं है. What about you, sir?
I would say, in fact, Sundays were the time. In fact, those days, I would say, when the revolution courses started, DG Shipping didn't have any restrictions on Sunday also. See, all these guidelines came a bit later on. So, and to get a visiting faculty, we had surveys from MMD, we had from classroom societies and shipping company superintendents, and they preferred to come on a Sunday. So, our reversion courses, which started up from 2000, I think it went on the same way till DG Shipping came with the guidelines for the post-C, pre-C. Sundays were allowed, especially in the reversion course, etc. So it got used to it. At least till lunchtime, I used to be there in office, and since my wife also used to get that, well, she takes care of the accounts, so she also used to accompany, and that's how we were doing it across.
This is a message loud and clear to every entrepreneur out there, including me, that there are a lot of sacrifices that a family makes, a lot of sacrifices that you make, everybody makes. Business is not easy. So if as a seafarer you're thinking कि यार family को time देने के लिए want to do business, don't even dream. It is going to be 24/7 thing. The man out here who has achieved so much, 17 years, no Monday, no Tuesday, no Sunday, every single day for the next 14 hours. 14 hours every single day for the 17 years of his life. So success does not come easy. Success has a price attached to it. Sir, you are a man who believes a lot in faith, religion. So I have hardly seen any maritime training institute having a mandir inside, जो मैंने आज देखा. And आप बहुत भक्ति भाव में believe करते हैं. So how important is faith to you?
I think the world is with faith. We all, in fact, those who say they don't have faith, I think COVID has taught the world to have faith. It's not me, but today the whole world says during COVID also that you have a positive thing, your results should be negative, but then your mind should be positive, that nothing will happen to you. So for me, faith is, I think, something which is inbuilt with me, and I start my day with a faith, and then end of the day, when we go to sleep also, yes, it's the power, the God which I trust, and the blessings. I also tell that, okay, in case I tell my children, everybody, even if you have any difficulty, and even today, I would say, there are challenges which come across, go and whichever religion it could be, I could say it could be a temple or a mosque or a church, whatever it could be, but then or Gurudwara, yes. So I think everybody should, I think, believe at that superpower which is there, because of which we are here, and go and at least thank God that, okay, what we are today, it's just because of Him. Otherwise, we will dream a lot, but then it's only He who is going to make the difference.
I was talking to your children, so one of my sons told me, he said, कि Papa always says कि whenever you are in problem, just go visit the temple, you will come out with a solution. So I was really happy listening that, and reminds me, it's been 2.5 months. Earlier I used to go every day to मंदिर, वो जल चढ़ाता था, अभी वो सब बंद हो रखा है. सुबह उठता हूँ अपनी अलग टेंशनों में. Having said that, so you were talking about challenges, you're talking about temple, you're talking about bad phases in life. Generally, whenever we go through bad phases, remember God more. तो मुझे भगवान की ज़्यादा याद तभी आती है जब मैं टेंशन में होता हूँ. Otherwise, only जय माता दी. So the most challenging phase of your life, or the most challenging period of your life where you thought, what am I doing? Has it ever happened where you questioned yourself, or which was that challenging period of your life?
I cannot remember anything of challenge because time ही नहीं मिलता है सोचने के लिए भी. So ultimately, and as you told, वो कबीर की दोहा जो है कि सुख में सुमिरन सब करे, दुख में करे न कोई। और जो जब दुख में करे तो फिर सुख मीन्स
जो सुख में
करे तो दुख काय को है। तो दैट्स ऑलमोस्ट अल्टीमेटली, so I think the routine is set. It's like, I would say, it's like a mission now. But okay, of course, now I would say that thanks to DD Shipping, that okay, they brought in lots of guidelines. Only when regulations like this, we talk of MLC, we talk of labor law, everything. But then I think, okay, for that is for the employees. But any of the people who are doing into business, we talk of who's their own business. For them, there is no guidelines as to rest hours or anything. So, but then DG Shipping probably would have got this idea, and then they told, okay, Sundays, holidays, compulsory, 2 shifts ko 1 shift karo. So I think we made across, and then now it's not late evening because we do it in one batch. We don't do 2 shifts. We do it one batch itself. So evening I get early home. In fact,
your evenings early means at least 6 p.m.
Yeah.
6:30.
तो 8-8:30 बजे,
हाँ सर, 8-8:30 बजे जब 6 बज रहे तो आपको तो लग्जरी लग रहा होगा.
लग्जरी होगा.
Okay, sir, you are impeccably dressed right now, and you wear a tie. You have a love for tie fascination, because every HIMT faculty is wearing a tie when I went to the post-C courses out there. So is it something mandatory made by you, or they just follow you blindly, or you believe that tie is very very important? So इसकी story बताइए थोड़ा सा.
Tie. In fact, when I used to go MMD, we know MMD exams, when we used to go, the surveyor expected you to be in a proper tie, which probably even today it is. So I didn't know how to wear a tie. In fact, my father used to wear a tie when I went for class 4, class 2, class 1, everything. Until even when I was a chief, when I settled ashore also, I didn't know. I learned tie. I should say that I learned tie after starting the institute. Okay, 98, I had to do, that time TOTA, training for trainers, was a mandatory course. And that's the time when a course was to be done. So I went to Mumbai, and then I had a good friend of, Captain Manjeshwar and Mr. Hoshang Dastur, who are in Waloms and that given time Babas, IMTC. So at that time in the bus, I used to go from here to MTI and then learned how to wear tie. And that day I wore across during TOTA, that given date, when we sat across the institute, came back, and that time, okay, there are hardly 3-4 faculties at that given time. It was easy to implement it, but then that culture went across, and we thought that it should be, look, you should be different from a student, okay, because when you're walking outside also, Guru Shishya Parampara is there. But you need to be friendly. The culture of, I've seen many CEOs today wear a t-shirt and jeans, right? I think
Mark Zuckerberg,
yeah, many I think.
Style है sir,
so, ठीक है. So people have asked me this question, why this tie? But then I think now it's become a culture. People prefer. I think yesterday also you have seen one of the faculty was speaking to us saying that, sir, that makes a difference. I think so. It gets a question of discipline now. When military, why don't you call uniform? We say the cadets to wear uniform. And then if we ourselves are not, we are in casuals any day, whatever we want to wear, if we wear it across. So we thought, okay, let's get discipline. That's my personal opinion. I might be wrong, but it's my perception that this particular thing, I would like to be this way.
This is where I think so I need to improve. So this is somewhere I am a very casual dresser. Many times my teammates, I have always encouraged, tell me whatever you feel. They tell me, sir, आप थोड़े से आप राउंड टी शर्ट पहन के आ जाते हो JMD अकेडमी में, आप डिकोडेड में आते हो, जब लोग आते हैं तो हमने राउंड टी शर्ट पहनी होती है, आप नॉर्मल जीन्स पहनी होती है, इट डजंट लुक नाइस, एंड देन आई फील यार क्या है, देन माई वाइफ इज कोल्डिंग में समटाइम्स, तुम क्यों ऐसे कपड़े पहन के जाते हो, ऐसे जो पहला निकले दे दो यार. So having said that, I'll try to improve. These podcasts are just not for the people, but for me as well, sir.
No, but in fact, I've had few inspections from MD when the survey used to come to the institute. Those days, I think, and then they should tell, I saw today this candidate with the bathroom slipper, why did you allow him? This person was with round neck t-shirt. So it was a learning for me also. I thought, okay, only our side, but then it got in the students also. So even today, any course booked, we have 2-3 things which is there in the website or where person books. No round t-shirts, no bathroom slippers or chappals. These are few things, and of course, timekeeping.
Time to sir, when you are there at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I guess the whole team is under pressure. Bhai, 7 o'clock, the boss is coming. We have to come early. That is something very, very.
And
God.
also the faculty also see that okay class अगर 7 बजे है 7:15 है तो फिर 1 मिनट लेट हो गया तो फिर I go and walk into the room. So ultimately they know that it's time for them to go.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, next question is, sir, it's been a journey of 25, 26 years and today HIMT starting from 2 rooms as such a big enterprise. What do you think are the factors were important to make HIMT a success that it is today?
I would say commitment. What I say, whatever a student is coming in the service sector. We are in the service sector today. So ultimately, in the service sector, customer is king and customer is God. So though they are students, but I always say the students also are my customers, and we cannot say that you take a stick and do. Okay, it could be discipline, but then you need to give a student, a seafarer who is coming across, is spending his valuable time, money, energy, all the three. People come like you told, you came from all the way from hometown to Kolkata, you came across to Chennai to do the course, or okay, that could have been a necessity, but even otherwise also, there are even today, students have institutes in that place, but they still come to HIMT. They say that I ask these questions every time to the institute, why did you come back? Sir, I want to learn something, so I come here. There are institutes where you could go and you could certainly complete the course, but here when a person comes in, okay, a faculty also are grown in that culture. Each and every faculty who have grown, they have grown through that culture. Okay, one is timekeeping and one is learn, and if you do not know an answer also, I say the faculty also, nobody's, we started a polar code course now just this week, early this week. Today morning I took a feedback and I came, and there were 4 masters who are undergoing this course, and one of the master told, sir, when I asked each faculty's feedback, and they told this particular faculty, sir, we appreciate, he didn't have an answer, he went back, next day he came back to us, he told me this is the answer, we forgot about what question we asked, but then, so that culture is there, which we talk, we have regular faculty meeting, we tell the faculty that nobody is perfect. I think the students will like to ask, for example, when you go for class 2, class 1 exams, the student wants to be rest assured so that they'll ask the same question to 2 different faculty to cross check whether this answer is right or that answer is right. But still, I think we tell the faculty that if you do not know the clear cut answer, please, there's no harm saying I do not know. Go back, come back the next day and tell them. So I would say that means every presentation what is there, and we have made it uniform. Again, now uniformity is not only in terms of the tie or something, but even the material. You will find various institutes have various material. Every faculty, again, the biggest challenge was, okay, this is my material, this is my material. Faculty say, okay, when I spent 10 hours, 20 hours making my material, I took this many hours. So we had a system of a central server wherein any institute of us, probably you could go, that is vetted, and the faculty who has prepared it, vetted by next person, and again, any faculty who comes new, a sailing faculty comes across, teaching in between the contracts also, they use the same material, and whether they are in my Kilpock Center, Tidal Park Center, Vizag Center, they use the same material. So, but then okay, and people would like to add on their own experiences and things. We are given that freedom, because people say that okay, when you make your own PowerPoint, you can present better than reading somebody else. But no, at least the guidelines is set across, so you don't miss out. Otherwise, there is also a feedback. Generally, what will have is 2 faculty overlap. Same thing, both of them will say. So we have tried to streamline that, where a faculty will go, this is the thing, this is a session, this is a topic, they be in that. Okay, last 5-10 minutes, if you want generalize, you speak across, that's fine.
Sir, in your answer, which was, I wanted in pointers wise, it came out with commitment, but still I did not disturb, because in your complete statement of 7 or 8 sentences, the answer came twice. What I personally felt, one is commitment, you coming early morning, making sure things are taken, but the most important thing was feedback, sir. Sir, in your 7 sentences, 3 times you mentioned, we took the feedback, we took the feedback, we took the feedback. I saw you that day also taking the feedbacks. Today also you were talking and sharing the feedbacks with the teachers. on that personal level. This is something that I will take with me, not in my pocket, but with my soul when I go back to Dehradun for Merchant Navy Decoded GMD Academy. Because I think so your feedback mechanism is very strong. You are not just taking feedbacks, but you're also implementing to make it right. So you're accepting that there can be flaws. So this is what I personally feel, sir. Anything else you want to add?
My only thing is, I say that, okay, if we have grown, feedback has been a strong point. My only job today, okay, earlier I used to get time, okay, to save the faculty cost also. I used to go and take classes many times, but now my classes are limited. I go for a few courses, reevaluation, and few courses I do go across. But then majority of job, I say that I do only feedbacks. And when I go to class, only thing I say, give us valuable comments to improve the institute, improve the course in terms of right from whether the toilet was clean, or till the time where whether it's a food or the faculty, the teaching, those are the feedbacks, please give us, because otherwise it's become, today you go to a flight, you go to a hotel, the feedback is there. One has become as per requirement of ISO, people do take a feedback. But then I am going from my own selfish motto. It's not for them, but it's going for me. Or the institute ultimately implement it. Okay, if I have a courage to implement it, then I should take feedback. If I don't have courage, then rather why to waste that 15 minutes also. So we have a system, okay, today I cannot go in all the centers and all the places. So we have a mechanism where a faculty who has not taken a class, he or she goes for a feedback.
Point well taken. Important for me as well, sir.
Yeah, so rather, because I cannot be everywhere, but then it's taken across, and then honestly I say to write down the negative aspects. Positive if you give, then I'll say I'll go to my cabin, sit in AC room and go to sleep. Rather negative if you give, then that's where I need to start doing my homework. My work is to, anything negative is I am responsible. That's for sure. Anything is negative in the organization, it's me and only me who has to bring the change.
As a leader. And acceptance is the most important. If you accept only, then you can improve. I agree with that, sir. Having said that, sir, you have achieved success, but you might have failed a lot of times. You must have failed. So how do you handle failures? Again, going to temple is sufficient, or there's some other strategy that works in your mind or you do?
I would say, okay, temple and discuss my wife and the family. I think that's the only way which, and okay, they say, okay, it is, God has been kind that, okay, the failures, what have happened, we have the strength to overcome that today. Today I would say that we have strength to overcome, and God's grace, I would say that the successes have been more now. The failures have reduced, because we also started thinking everything as positive. There could be every day, on ships we have everyday failure. Why the company appointed me. So that is, again, as a part of the job, take your failure also as a learning lesson, because in that failure also you are going to learn something new, which you take creative actions and you do it across.
Agreed, sir. Very well agreed. So 1998 post training centers. By 2001, you were your center was the one where maximum amount of training courses were being conducted within 3 years. 2003, you opened your own Maritime Pre-C college with the GP rating. Then in 2005 with DNS, the CCMC course was also started. So you started DNS, then you stopped, then you started CCMC, you stopped. So can you share a bit about the journey of Pre-C Maritime College as well?
Okay.
In brief.
Pre-C, okay, the 98, 99, in the 2 years, by 2012, Pre-C Institute started coming across, and a few shipping companies kept asking, why don't you start Pre-C? Okay, your feedbacks, okay, the feedbacks from the seafarers to the companies when they go for briefing, debriefing helped me a lot, and many companies directly called on me and they told that, why don't you start Pre-C training? It will be good. We will sponsor you, the students across. So you start. So till then we were not believing that, okay, you start something, courses. I could have started at the same time Pre-C also. But then no point then when the market was bad, jobs were not available, and then start and then take up the courses. So we didn't want to get into Pre-C for sure. We wanted to be called as a post institute. Even today, this year, DG Shipping, even I would say today, in terms of post training, 2 awards today, this year. Last year we got NMDC award by DG Shipping as a first rank. This year again we got first and second rank, both post institutes. So Pre-C, I know that we are not the ultimate today. There are few good institutes which are there the shipping company owned institutes basically where they can boldly say that it's a 100% placement. In terms of this, I would say still we have not reached the stage. I cannot boldly say that, okay, all my courses, right from a GP rating course to every course, I'll have 100% placement. But then I would say fairly, today an ETO is 100%. So going back to your question, when we started, I started the GP rating course and course what it's called right now as CCMC. It was called as saloon rating. But then we saw the market that saloon rating, the people were not getting the jobs which were there. So we voluntarily surrendered that approval. We didn't want to create negative canvassing because that also the students who are going to come also will not come. And DG Shipping, when they were starting this IGNOU, with IGNOU, the DNS program, first DNS program, when DG Shipping started 2005, when they invited all the pre-sea maritime institutes to Bombay in the conference hall, and that time Mr. Sani, late Sani, who was the DG that given time, he invited everybody. He was saying, we told sir we don't have infrastructure. That given time DG was saying, you even start it and touch it roof, but then start this course, DNS course. That was invitation not to me alone, to all the I think 18, 19 institutes whom he invited. Every pre-sea, it was for all. It was not for HIMT alone, but because he had to be equal to all. He told, please start, whoever wants to start. And then that's how I think the DNS course at that given time we started across. And once we started the course, initially, okay, the first batch, second batch, few batches did well. And then the market started falling down around 2007. Yeah. Then we saw by 2010-11, I think, placements were getting an issue. So we thought that let's rather not do the course. Alternately, we can do other courses. The ocean is big. We can earn everywhere. I think it's not that why to do a course and then have unemployment. So we voluntarily surrendered that approval also. So both DNS and I would say the saloon rating have been those two courses which we stopped. Okay, alternately we started the BSc, we started the 3 years BSc, we started the BTech Marine Engineering 4-year and the GME program, and then recently the ETO also. That was 2017 when we did call. And last year, okay, leading company, okay, called on us. They told they want to sponsor, can you start DNS? Okay. Synergy is the name of the company, okay, and then they sponsored up almost 95 cadets. They were sponsored. It's the first batch. So we went for approval again, getting the approvals from DG Shipping, and then many companies. In fact, now companies. I think the list is big. BSM, MOL. There are various companies. Sanmar, the company where I said as chief engineer. They've been taking cadets right from day one till date. They've been taking all the nautical cadets. So there are many companies who are supporting us, and then they want a cadet. So we started back the courses. So as the industry requires courses, we start across. Otherwise, we throttle the admissions. You would not see a single ad right from 98 till date. They earn high salary. Okay, now then later on, DG brought in the syllabus itself, not in the guidelines itself, that do not give false promises or anything. So, but otherwise, ethically also, we never gave an ad. I tell my receptionist also today also, if anybody calls, okay, course like a BSc BTech, if he asks whether job is guaranteed on day one, we just said we cannot tell today. Okay, as we can say the past record, whether it's 90% or 85% or 100%, we can tell them, but we cannot tell that 4 years down the line, what will the company, whether they'll have a ship. Because companies also have the same issue. They cannot give, okay, for a course like a DNS or a GME course or a ATO, okay, they know it's a short-term courses where company can also forecast and say, okay, we'll take this many credits. But a 3 years, 4 years program, it is difficult to tell. Though the fact remains that even the companies have started coming, even right now on second year when my BSc, the companies are taking the students, not one, but many. They know that, okay, when they go early, they get the best of it. So there are companies who are taking on the BSc, BTech and various other courses. They come on a second year, third year. At least I would say the last 2-3 years, the market globally has improved, at least for India at least. And we have been doing better. Today, God's grace, again, We have to say now, many companies says, do you have ETO credits? They keep saying at least, de do, koi na koi de do. But then say, sorry sir, we don't have anybody. That's a stage which we have reached. And we are happy. Okay, so now slowly we are throttling and we might increase the capacity further to the courses which are there. Engineering has been the course where I think the placements had not been that great. So we throttled, and then the admissions, not the GME program but the BTech program, being a 4-year program, even the inclined by the student also, many of them prefer to take up something else. Okay, today the choices are there. So students also prefer, everything has an advantage, disadvantage. Every course has an advantage, disadvantage. Some companies want only a BTech engineer, some companies want a mechanical engineer and then a GME. So, and same thing if you talk about the nautical side, some companies say that no, DNS is no good, we want only a BSc, nautical 3 years. Some companies say DNS. So it's a choice of the company, and I think that's an advantage for us, that okay, every different company is coming across and taking the students.
Okay, having said that, what I could analyze from this is that HIMT has become a legacy when it comes to post training courses, and you have a vision for the pre-C college as well, and where you want to reach another next 10 years.
Not next year, I would say it will happen. Now we have reached almost to a stage, at least 4 courses. I think my GME, ETO, and at least the DNS, of course, it's 100% placement.
Because your sponsorship.
Yeah. And BSc BTech also, it's going on well. I think this batch which is passing out also quite a large number. I think my principal will be able to give you the exact figure.
Yeah, I'll be making a separate video with him after interacting with the students.
So he'll give you the exact placement records which he's monitoring personally. In his portfolio, you have again a placement officer. In many of the institutes, you have a separate placement officer. Though we have, but then I think the principal himself, I think is heading the placement part of it. That's a commitment which luckily we have that from a principal who is, the objectivity is finally, end of the day, the product which has come in goes happy with the job.
So guys, I think so it has been a long talk but a inspirational one. I wish you sir all the best for your future endeavors. I wish to see HIMT growing to higher skies now that your 2 sons have joined you hand in hand. And it has been a great learning lesson with me. Now I'll be going interacting with the students, and thanks for accepting my request to let me talk to every batch individually without any
Sure, that will
teacher being there in the presence, so that I can get more feedbacks, and like feedback oriented you are, am I, and let's see, hoping for brighter future for every maritime aspirant out there, hoping to reach out to you guys with more options, genuine options, better options. With this, all I can say is thank you, Sanjeev sir.
Thanks, and I think the conference on HIMT, it's interested. I think it's not, now I would say my whole family has got into it.
Yes.
My 2 sons,
Yes.
Otherwise to convince, I think I keep speaking to many of them, they say that, so my children, you are blessed because both your sons are now come to it. So it's now become something where both of them went to WMU, World Maritime University, they have come back. And one is taking the IT tech, one is taking the expansion of the, so the conference, it's not that, as I told, backups, we already have backups ready now.
And so, I am so glad to see that happening. Rather, interacting with both your sons in the last 2 days has been phenomenal. Coming back on time, they have all the qualities that you have. I wished to say this, I hope my son, if I am worthy, he follows my full steps. With this, all I can say is, but there have been a lot of manifestations in the last 2 days. With this, sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.